Hi. Hey, you probably guessed by now, I'm Stephen Webb, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about me, a little bit about my story, and how I've become a peace of mind coach. Okay, probably the best place to start is you'll see what I mean through all these videos about the way our mind wanders, and especially when we're on camera, it all goes blank and we play with our thoughts. But I'll do that occasionally, and it'll make sense more towards the end of the course. But the best place to start is probably why I'm in a wheelchair, because then it stops you wondering. Well, picture this: I was a teenage boy, 18 years old, went off out with my mates one night, and we decided to go swimming. And it was about 9:30 at night, so we headed off to the local school that had a swimming pool that was lit up, it was heated, and we could just walk onto it easily. So we used to go up there in the summer and have a good time. And yeah, sometimes we used to go up there and have a drink, and we used to do all the other things. But this particular night, I didn't have a drink. I was just up there with a few friends. It was quite quiet. And at 10:30, I climbed up in the corner of the wall and I walked all the way along and I dived in. It was the deep end, but I hit the bottom hard. Instantly in that moment, I knew something was wrong because I couldn't move. I felt a massive pain go through my body and the top of my head was really sore. And I tried to swim to the surface, but I couldn't move my arms at all. And then after a few moments, everything went calm, everything went peaceful. And I had an experience that I will share with you at the end of the course, because it took me 25 years to understand this experience that I've had. And in Buddhism and Western philosophy, they call it nirvana. They call it emptiness, or mu in Zen. And a few moments later, when I came back to myself, my friends dragged me out of the pool. I was instantly paralyzed. I couldn't walk from that moment. I have no hand function. My arms are limited movement. I don't feel my hands. And in the days after that, I was taken to my local hospital. And then I was moved 200 miles away by helicopter. And then they put a tracheotomy in me, which was quite an eventful night because I refused. I didn't think I was that poorly, but the consultants and all thought I was. So after hours of refusing and my parents trying to get a judge to overrule me because I was 18, the consultant just come in one day and said, come in that evening and said, Stephen, you're not going to survive unless we do this, and I'm going to do it now. So yeah, that's what happened that night. There's a few gory details, but I won't share them with you. And I spent 12 months in hospital, lying on a hospital bed, 18 years old, and I didn't come home until this was September the 1st, 1991. So 27 years ago now, 26 years ago now, 27 this year. And I came home the following September, built a life, had quite an ordinary life apart from I was in a wheelchair. I have 24-hour carers. I had a partner, I had a stepdaughter, and everything just went normal, as normal as it can be. And I lost like 15 years of my life, just gone. I started a computer company and I went bankrupt 3 years later. I had several heartbreaks. I lost my best friend at 32. And I'm not sharing this to compete and say, I've had it worse than you or anything, because that's irrelevant. Everything is relevant to what we're going through. But the reason why I share these things is because it'll give you a sense of what you can overcome. It'll give you a sense of, if I can find peace of mind, and I can find happiness in the moments, and realize that it's a choice. And please don't get me wrong, I don't live every moment in a blissful enlightenment that nothing ever goes wrong. The universe doesn't go, Stevie's like practicing meditation. That's it. We won't give him no more hassle. I get the same hassle. But where my journey started with peace of mind was when I was 40. I'd been seeing someone for about 18 months, and out of the blue, they just didn't want to see me no more. And it made me hit rock bottom. It was the final tipping point that for years and years I just coped on the edge of the cliff, and it was the final tipping point that, do you know what, my whole self, my ego, the I in me, the little I, completely gave up. So I can't do this anymore. And for about 2 weeks I was just an empty shell. Just nothing. Just didn't want to go through each day. And the difficulty for me was I could not lock myself away. I wanted to not see anybody. I wanted to just, lie in bed and cry and wallow in my own self-pity. But I couldn't do that because I had carers that would come in every morning, get me out of bed, put me to bed. They had to give me my food. They had to clean the house. They had to do these things. So I still, in my rock bottom, had to face people and keep a smile on my face. And it was the hardest thing I'd done. When inside of you, it's absolutely tearing apart. And you still got to be sociable. You still got to be. So yeah, it's tough. It's my life is a lot less tougher now, but it's still tough. So that's why I'm a peace of mind coach. That's why I know you can have peace of mind, no matter what you're going through. But I'm not going to promise you any everlasting enlightenment bliss because it doesn't exist. We just learn to even out the bubbles a bit. Ken Wilber says about the spiritual journey, and this is the beginning of it, trying to seek that bit of peace. He says about the spiritual journey is you don't feel less pain. You don't feel less hurt. In actual fact, you feel it deeper. But you suffer less. Because that's what these practices would do. It'll give you a stacking of habits ability where we start with number 1 and then we add number 2, then we add number 3, 4 and 5. And it'll give you this ability to deal with the pain. You feel it, you'll cry, but you'll be okay with crying because you'll realize it's okay. You'll deal with loneliness, anxiety and depression in a lot better way. You'll realize they're temporary visitors to you. You're not anxiety, you're not depression, you're not loneliness. You sometimes get lonely. And then later in the course, we separate our thoughts from our feelings. We separate our thoughts from who we are. We stop associating with all these different things. And I give you a practice that would help you do that. And don't forget there's meditations attached to this course as well. A morning meditation, a 7-minute booster meditation, a brilliant sleep meditation that is just, it's one of the highest rated meditations that has ever been put out there for sleep on Insight Timer. And you can have it to download, so you don't even need their app to use it. So yeah, that was the beginning of my peace of mind journey. One more thing I will share with you a moment is, because I was labelled dyslexic when I was about 6, 7 years old, I'd never really read books. I struggled through school, and when I hit my rock bottom at 40, I had to quieten my mind. I had to get rid of these destructive demons in my mind that was just absolutely soul destroying. And they were keeping me awake. They were keeping me from anything I should be doing. And it was just incredibly painful and adding more pain to it. As if the pain wasn't enough for the initial heartbreak. It just added to it. So I started reading a book. It was 30 pages, I think, and it took me like 3 weeks to read it. But that started my journey of learning. It started my journey of looking into Zen and Buddhism and anxiety and depression and finding peace of mind. So I spent nearly 5 years now training, teaching, learning. And am I all sorted? Hell no. But wouldn't you rather learn from someone that's still learning? Wouldn't you rather learn from someone that is going through the same problems, the monkey mind, the constant chatter, the pain, the feeling deep, than someone that's just, all sorted? So hey, look, you're here. That's a bit about me. That's a bit about the course. And let's get on with the 5 secrets.